Hello, I'm Wess Smith, and I work here as the Sign Language and Assessment Coordinator here at the School for the Deaf. Welcome. I've worked here over 20 years, and I absolutely love my job. What I typically do is assess staff, sometimes students, and sometimes I provide training. Sometimes I score, and I also provide outreach, traveling to the 57 regional day school programs that we have across the state of Texas, such as in Houston, in Dallas, Fort Worth, Corpus Christi, in the Valley area, in Amarillo. Some of those programs might be C, some of them are MSS, some of them are CASE programs, some of them are contact signing programs, and of course, American Sign Language programs. What I'm here to do is talk to you about the importance of the SCPI. The SCPI is the Sign Communication Proficiency Interview. That's the instrument that we use here at the school for assessing staff sign language proficiency skills. TSD considers staff signing very important. Whether you be a janitor, a teacher, a counselor, a principal, the superintendent, or a chef, all staff must take the SCPI. The SCPI is an interview test where a person is seated in front of a camera and they have an interviewer and an interviewee. And you're asked questions, roughly about 20 minutes, about social and work topics, and you're asked to sign your best. The goal is not to pass or fail an employee. It's just to validate that the person can sign and that they can sign well enough to communicate. So it's basically a check system. If you pass it, or you get the level you needed, you don't have to take the SCPI again. If not, we move you over into a sign language class track, and we monitor the number of hours, and you have to take an SCPI once a year. Once a year, we'll check in using the SCPI instrument, again, to see if you've met the level of signing so that it's good enough to meet the needs of our students. TSD considers sign language very important because students come here for one sole reason, and that reason is access to all of our programs through language. They can be in the student body government. They can be involved in whether they're coming to a cafeteria person or a nursing person. Any person on our campus that a student comes across, the person mowing the lawn, they can approach and begin a conversation. And we consider that to be very important. Also, TSD expects signing at all times. If two hearing people are standing in a hallway, we expect them to have the conversation in sign language. If it's a private conversation, then you go somewhere private to have that conversation, whatever you need to discuss in private. That's a courtesy, a sign of respect to sign at all times. They have a term or a phrase called incidental learning. Incidental learning is when kids learn or people learn just by incidents. If you had two hearing kids and a hearing parent, or two deaf kids and a deaf parent, and they were watching, they learn from the conversations that are going on. It's unintentional learning. It's incidental learning. If you happen to be at home, you have a family at home, and the dad asks the mom, "Did you pay the electric bill?" And the mom says, "I didn't pay the electric bill." And the dad says, "Oh no, that means we need to go to HEB, we need to pay the electric bill." "Oh, we don't get a paycheck until 2 weeks from now. That means that we're going to be tight. For the next 2 weeks, we're going to be eating beans and weenies." 2 weeks of that. So when you think of that insignificant conversation, a child watching can learn. They can learn that that family gets their paycheck in 2 weeks. They learn that that kid's family, when money is tight, typically eats beans and weenies. They learn that they can check to see and pay for the bill, the electric bill, at the grocery store, the HEB. And those things are all important in the process of learning. You learn in a classroom, but you learn much more through environmental information. Texas School for the Deaf puts an emphasis on sign language and SCPI. It's housed under the Human Resource Department. And the reason is because they consider it a very important part of hiring, terminations, monitoring, and evaluating. So TSD really holds high respect for sign language. We consider it very important. If you've taken the SCPI at another school, at another location, and you apply for a job at TSD, we accept that for the interview. But upon being hired, you must come through the SCPI department and actually take an SCPI here to make sure that you're qualified and meet the signing standard for our staff. Our goal, again, is not to penalize anyone. Our goal is to facilitate, encourage, and improve our environment to make it better for our students. so that when our students arrive, if they have somebody whose signing isn't that great, then they're going to be delayed, and that's not fair. They're not getting an equal education. Our scores typically are 2 deaf and 1 hearing person per team. They will watch the tape, they will score the tape, and they will actually affirm a score. If you get the level needed for your job, let's say you're a teacher and the job requires an advanced, if you come in and you take the interview and it's scored and the score comes back as advanced or above, then you never have to take the SCPI again. It's a one-time thing. However, if a supervisor feels you've regressed or you're not meeting the needs of your job, or we notice a deterioration in your signing, then you would have to come back in and take the SCPI again upon request. But typically it's a one-time thing. If you leave TSD and you've met your level, you don't have to take the test again. It's simply kept on file in human resources. To be honest with you, the SCPI is a wonderful instrument for this school, for our students, and for our staff. If you have any questions or any concerns, please feel free to reach out to me. Again, my name is Wess Smith. My extension here is 5430. My VP is 410-4092. And feel free to email me at wess.smith@tsd.state.tx.us. Please feel free to contact me at any time. We'll be providing you a Skippy schedule, and you can make an appointment for your SCPI appointment. Welcome to TSD.